Welcome back to KSTV. Last fall, Steve Shenbaum, founder and president of Game On Nation, worked with John Calipari and the basketball team. And last week, he was back in Lexington, this time working with Mark Stoops and the football group, as well as the women's soccer team. Tonight, he joins us to talk about how his motivation workshop went with the team. So, Steve, thanks for taking some time and welcome to the show.
Thanks, DJ. It's glad to be here.
Can you take us through, I know we talked with you during the basketball time last season, but for people who may not have seen it, may not be familiar, can you take us through your program and the things you did with the football team?
Absolutely. One thing we really focus on is engaging the athlete. So we're actually working on 4 elements: empowerment, mystery, competition, and humor, which is new from when we worked with the basketball team last year. All of our exercises are interactive. There's the improv base to it, with the overall goal to create chemistry, improve the chemistry, and help these guys learn how to laugh with, not at each other.
And I know that concept, we have a graphic, the game dynamics. Can you take us through, I guess, a little more depth of each of those things and why it's important, if you're a football team, why each of those is valuable to you?
You know, it's interesting. We did a lot of studying, and I asked the football team during the session, how many of you played hide and seek when you were a kid? And everyone raised their hand, including the coaches. And what we've learned is these elements that made us play hide and seek when we were 7 years old for like 4 hours, these are the same elements that we can infuse on and off the football field to light each other up. So the idea of empowerment is to make each other feel valued. The idea of mystery is to allow the team to embrace what's coming up next without fearing it. So really faith over fear. The idea of competition is collective competition. Like, hide and seek was collective competition. It wasn't like I tagged the person and then got in a fight with them. And then the idea of humor is my favorite. It's just, really expressing the laugh with versus laugh at.
And some of these guys, I mean, they're kids still in a lot of ways. And I know in talking with them when we interact with them on a daily basis, some of them are a little shy, in a shell. How receptive were they in a big group like that to go through some of your exercises? Was there any hesitancy? Did you have to pull some of them out of their shell?
There are some folks that are apprehensive, understandably, TJ, but it helped that I was there last year. Yeah. You know, it helped that Coach Phillips brought me in last year before I worked with basketball, and I have a relationship with Coach Stoops. But the apprehension really goes away quickly once they realize that it's fun to be laughed with. And once you get them up on their feet and they realize it's a collective competition environment, it's supportive, usually that fear goes away really quickly. And it's up to me to create an environment that is safe. And I have to tell you, Coach Stoops and his staff, and also the women's soccer team as well, created an environment where there's a lot of trust and it helps a lot.
The UK football team, of course, is rebuilding with Mark Stoops. And this season, everybody says it's going to be difficult. They play 4 top 10 teams in a row, 5 top 10 teams overall. What are the things that say if what you're doing can pull success out of them? What are the kind of things that they can take out of this and say, you apply this to the season and this can help you mentally or maybe even physically as you go through these tough battles?
I think one of the things, just a great question, is realizing that if you're like a freshman or a sophomore, you may not be one on the depth chart, but you have a role on this team. And if you step up and have confidence, you can make a huge impact, special teams or coming in if someone gets injured. I think overall the idea you belong and that this is no longer a team that is grateful to be here. I mean, they're grateful, but it's more about they belong with other top teams. And the things that I'm trying to create with this team is already established. I'm just trying to validate it in a different way. And one of the things is to have each other's back. That's a huge thing. Have each other's back, even if you're not best friends. And the other idea is to get out there and approach football like it's a game. Let's go out and play. Just like when you played hide and seek, let's go out and play. Don't turn the stress meter so high that you grip. But go out and just have fun and play, and that usually allows for a little bit more flow.
You mentioned you have a previous relationship with Mark Stoops. You've worked with him before when he was at Florida State. Did you notice anything different about him now that he's the head man in charge? Is he a little more tense or did you notice anything in him different?
You know, it's funny, DJ, his shoes are nicer. I'm not joking. I walked in, he had these really sweet, I don't know, maybe they were from Saks, really nice brown shoes. I go, Mark, you've got nicer shoes. You know, I think Mark is ready to be the number 1 man. And I can see that, and he's excited. And he's got a very consistent demeanor, which I think a lot of young athletes respond to. He was smiling a little more. He still has that intensity. He's still defensive-oriented, but really nice shoes, and he just seemed to be in the right place. I think he wants to lead. I think that Stoops family has that head coach gene in them, and I think he's in a really good place.
I think that's where we all desire to be at some point, is where we can finally get nice shoes. I know that's at least coming from a kid wanting to get Jordans. Now maybe I can get some shoes. Before we let you go, we talked a lot about the football team, but the women's soccer team at UK has had a lot of success over the last couple of years. Did you have to change anything? The program you're putting in with the football team, is it different when you're working with the women's soccer team, or are these all principles that all athletes, I guess, can learn from?
That's a great question. The core principles are the same, TJ. I changed my delivery slightly. The women I also had worked with last year, I find that they'll respond a little bit more and be a little bit open to jump up on stage. But overall, I taught the same exact curriculum to the women as I did to the football team, and the response was the same. It's a group of people that they want to improve, they want to win, and as long as you serve it with authenticity, they'll respond.
All right, Steve Shenbaum from Game On Nation. We always enjoy talking with you. Thanks for being here. Maybe we'll chat during basketball season. Who knows?
I'd love that. Thanks, TJ. Appreciate you guys a lot.